Alrighty, so the first game of the 2022 MLS regular season is in the books, and I want to do this review right now because the next game isn't going to start until 30 minutes at the time of this recording. But also, that's just one less game for me to review when I do the review later tonight after I come back from the Quakes game against the New York Red Bulls. And for the first game of the regular season, it ends in a draw, 1-1 between the Union and Minnesota. And overall, I thought that this was a good performance for the Loons, and that, this was always a game that it was going to be tough for the Loons to get all 3 points, and especially when I saw the starting 11 where they were kind of crippled with four starters not playing in this game, and that already it seemed like they're going through a bit of an injury crisis to begin the season. 1-1 draw against a team that I picked to win the Supporters' Shield, and a team that were pretty much starting almost the same starting 11 as they did in the Eastern Conference Final is definitely a good result for them. Now, Hunu actually start on the bench as Amaria was leading the lines in this game. I was kind of surprised by that. I mean, I know obviously the Loons are very high on Amaria, and I'm definitely is the same, but with the way that Amaria just arrived with Minnesota not long ago, I thought, maybe Hunu will get the chance, since Maria probably didn't get a lot of reps coming into this game. No Will Trapp for Minnesota as Dotson stepped in his spot. Another player that I didn't put that the Loons did not have was Chase Gaspard, who I didn't find out later that he actually had a concussion, and obviously no Roma Metanier, who's still recovering from that hamstring injury that he suffered in the playoffs. Carranza, of course, gets to start playing alongside with Burke in the striker position. Again, as I mentioned in the preview, the Union had issue with their DP striker Michael Oru in terms of his visa issue, and therefore that's why he wasn't available for this game yet. But he should be available probably in future games. I think the earliest probably could be next week, but it's a shame the fact that they weren't able to get their big money number 9 in this game, and in some way they kind of wish they had, because there were times where, I've also said that when I look at this backline Minnesota starts, it was a makeshift backline, and there were times where I was actually really nervous all of the way how they're going to handle this Union forward line, which, I said that this was going to be one of the big issue that the Union is going to have to figure out this upcoming season, is that can they get enough on the attack to, of course, win games. I mean, we know their defense and midfield is good, but the attack is been an issue, and it was definitely an issue last season in the playoffs. There was a moment of silence early in this game on the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Now, obviously, I never like to discuss politics, but this is something that I think it's too huge to ignore, and I'm pretty sure you probably have heard from other YouTubers, and also pretty much been hear the news of the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, and that there's even that trend World War III is potentially going to start. But obviously the world is definitely stands with Ukraine, and you definitely saw a lot of Ukrainian flag, especially on the Sons of Ben supporter section, and even in some of the seating area at Subaru Park. And yeah, it's definitely sad to see that, of course, is happening, and all I'm hoping is that things, of course, would calm down. I mean, I'm definitely hope that eventually we won't have a World War III, and I'm going to definitely take a stance of saying that, yeah, let's just hope things are going to calm down, and we do not want to escalate it in a way where, if there is going to be World War III, yeah, it can get ugly very quick, and I'll just kind of leave it to that. But early in this game, there was not much happening in the first 10 minutes besides a little scuffle between both teams at the 10th minute mark, which is kind of expected because, it's the first game of the season. It's also a matinee kickoff, so things are obviously going to be slow in the first couple of minutes. Though I will say that last season, when the first game of the season happened, it was relatively fast, and that was kind of a bit surprised considering the fact that, when you're playing your first game of the season, it takes time for a lot of these players to get themselves back to match fitness, and that, I know they have a preseason, but this is a real thing. I mean, this is the first time that we are going to have a competitive game between both of these teams, and it does take time and get that mindset right that, yeah, this one actually counts, unlike all those preseason games that you played for the past couple of weeks. The first chance came in the 16th minute when Blake denied Fragapani in the back post. I think Fragapani was actually trying to hit it into the box rather than then basically heads it in, but Blake had to tip that one over. Burke then puts it into the Sons of Ben section from 10 yards out. I thought the Loons build-up has been good, but the final third is not. And that's kind of the story for this team last season, and the thing that I'm really hope it's going to change this upcoming season. I mean, I know the build-up of this team is good. I mean, anytime we have Reynoso, it's going to be that case, but it frustrates me to sometimes see the final third of this team. Though I will say that it seemed like that team probably saw what I wrote, because just a couple of minutes after I wrote that, they score. It's Robin Lett scoring the first goal of the 2022 MLS regular season from Fragapane to give Minnesota a 1-0 lead. Bedoya tried to answer quickly on the other end, but he puts it wide from close range of the 25th minute. Fragapane then was wide open in the 18-yard box, but he hits that one straight to Andre Blake. And I thought the Union defense, they looked like they were in preseason mode. I mean, we know that this Union defense is going to be the strength of this team. And I thought as the game goes along, they definitely got back to where I thought they were last season, which is a team that is really hard to break down. But early on, I mean, Minnesota was finding a lot of space in that Union back line, and again, it's just a case where, it's the first game of the season. These Union defense are probably trying to get themselves back to competitive fitness, and I love how the Loons really took advantage of that. Though, that being said, on the other end, when I look at this Loons back line, yeah, like I said, it's a very makeshift back line, and they were definitely having some close call moments, especially whenever the Union tried to put the ball into the box. And the old saying, you can only play with fire until it finally burns you. Yeah, it burned the Loons in the 36th minute, as Corey Burke would score from Glassness to tie the game up at 1 apiece for the Union. It was just lazy clearance from Reynoso. Like, you do not backheel in your own box. I mean, I know he's a creative player, but when you're in your own box, don't backheel it. Just clear the ball away. And also, not to mention, not good defending in the back post with Burke able to heads that one away. But I kind of knew that was going to happen, because the Union was causing a lot of trouble whenever they crossed the ball into the box, and the Loons were having a lot of trouble dealing with that. Gastek then puts one straight to Miller as the Union was pressing to get the lead, as they feel like they had the momentum. Reynoso then fired one high from long range in the 40th minute before Dotson struck the post on the free kick, and then on the follow-up, Lud puts that one into the stands. But yeah, that was close for Minnesota to sneak in the second goal and take the lead once again. I mean, I didn't expect Sonny Dotson was going to strike that one, and he definitely curled that one well. Though I will say that I did question Blake in terms of the position of the free kick, and it's very rare I've seen Blake kind of got caught out in a free kick position, but I thought he kind of almost did, because if that one actually went top left corner, he was not going to get to it. But we head to halftime, 1-1 apiece between both of these teams, and in the second half, there was a huge shout for a penalty that was not given for the Union. Miller then denied Burke from 10 yards out in the 55th minute, before on the other end, Blake denied Armaria from long range, and that was really one of the few chances that Armaria has had. I didn't think Armaria had the best of his game, but again, he's still trying to get himself to match fitness, and this is also kind of why I'm surprised they decided not to get Hunu into this game, because Hunu definitely got more reps in the preseason compared to Amaria. The game did kind of start open up a bit. I mean, there was times where this game was a typical opening day game where it was scrappy, and there were definitely some naughty challenges throughout the way that kind of created a little bit of a scuffle throughout the way. But then in the 67th minute, Miller absolutely robbed Gastak, though, the flag actually did went up, but if the flag didn't went up, yeah, that was a great save from Miller, because I thought Gastak was going to hit that one in. And again, the Loons having a lot of trouble dealing with those dangerous ball coming into the box. There was another shout for a penalty from the Union, as the fans thought that Carranza was fouled in the box, but it was not given. Santos then heads it wide from the free kick in the 75th minute before the Union. They were really starting to press for the winner, and it looks like classic road heave mode has activated for Minnesota. And if you don't know what classic heave road mode means, or classic road heave mode, basically it's a time when Heave decided to, we're just going to shut things down and just going to take a point out of this game, even though, there's time that we have looked dangerous for this game, maybe retake the lead. No, we're just going to be conservative and basically get a point. Though I will say that, as much as sometimes I get very frustrated about that, this kind of makes sense because I just had a feeling the Union was started to really kind of get that second goal, and if they open themselves up, then yeah, the Union is going to get that second goal. But it definitely did not do good for my heart because yeah, the last 15 minutes, I'm started to have that feeling of watching this team, and whenever I started to kind of have some nervous moment in the last 15 minutes, that I am definitely back watching regular season game with this team. But in the 77th minute, Wagner did try to curl one in from 22 yards out, but he missed that one wide. So Wagner probably saw what Dotson did in the first half. He tried to do the same thing, but didn't work out. And as the time winds down, I mean, it was pretty clear that the Loons was playing for a draw. They were definitely trying to shithouse a little bit. A couple of times where I saw a couple of the players trying to fake injuries to kind of kill some time, and the Union was really pressing for the winner. There was more scuffle between both of these teams as we head into stoppage time, but then as we go into stoppage time, where I was expecting the Union was going to go all out and throw the kitchen sink at that Loons back line, instead it was the other way around. The Loons actually had a couple of chances to steal all 3 points in this game. Blake robbed Hunu as he went through on goal. I mean, I feel like Hunu probably could have got a little bit closer as he gone through on goal, but then again, I think Wagner was almost in his face, so he kind of had to take a shot. And it was a good shot too. I mean, it was one that I feel like Blake could, with the caliber of his goalkeeping ability, should be safe. But nevertheless, good effort there from Hunu to trying to maybe steal it for Minnesota late in this game. And then Hawana puts it wide from 17 yards out in the 4th minute. I mean, if that one went in, the whole fan base in South Africa is going to take over the Minnesota United social media page. Like, they are really crazy about this guy right now. And again, when he does get his first goal, I'm telling you, that South African fan base is going to take over this Loons social media page. But like I said, the Loons, they were unexpectedly pushing to try to get a steal out of this game, trying to get all three points, but nevertheless, it did end in a 1-1 draw in this game, as the shots in this one, 19 shots compared to 14 that Minnesota has, 6 shots on goal compared to 5 that the Union has. Both teams had 7 shots off target, 7 shots that was blocked compared to 1 that Minnesota has, and possession-wise, 52% possession compared to 48% possession that Minnesota has in this game. And again, I think this is a good point for the Loons, consider the fact that they were a little bit short-handed and they were putting a makeshift back line. I mean, overall, I feel like, there is still an issue with this team in terms of going forward on the attack, and especially in the final third. But, I'm not going to just use this game as a way for me to be very concerned that the problem hasn't fixed, because, one of the tricky thing about games that isn't on this opening weekend is that it is very easy to draw a conclusion of how a team is going to be. And, I know there's that old saying, you can win MLS Cup on your first game, but you certainly can lose it. Though I would say that that's more kind of a racing kind of cliche rather than if you put in a soccer term. But you can't draw a conclusion after the first game. And I'm pretty sure the Union team, I know they're going to be disappointed with this result, but I know that they're going to be much better, and especially once they do get their star striker Michael Root, they'll definitely look more dangerous going forward on the attack. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below what do you think of this game. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.